Hey, what's up everyone? Here in this channel, you'll find everything you need to know about investing, real estate, stocks and crypto, and how to get started investing from A to Z. In this video today, I will be showing you the investments that wealthy people have and poor people don't have. If you're into that sort of content, please subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification so you don't miss a video. Have you ever thought where the wealthy people spend their money? What do they spend their money on? Like, how do they spend it? Many of these ultra high net worth individuals have personal assets that they invest as alternative investments. Expensive wine, vintage cars, beautiful art, equity in private enterprises, and so on are examples of assets that poor people rarely focus on. Wealthy people are said to have over 50% of their money invested on such assets. So let me share with you where the truly wealthy people maintain and invest their money. Number 11, real estate. Both private and commercials remains a popular investment among the ultra-wealthy people. Investing in real estate has been a popular way to make money for over 300 years, and one of the best ways for the wealthy to acquire and secure their wealth. The trend began with the purchase of the primary house, followed by the purchase of other apartments, usually for rental purposes. They began purchasing commercial real estate, such as office buildings, hotels, stadiums, and bridges after purchasing personal real estate. Most wealthy people, according to statistics, have a huge investment portfolio. Not only that, but wealthy people prefer exclusive real estate as well. This is the kind of property that doesn't come up for sale very often. It's rarely used in making a large return. Instead, this may be some form of a historical building. As long as it maintains its value, the wealthy people are happy. No poor people will see value in an old historic 17th century cottage. Instead, they will look for a residential home where they can live, forgetting that the historic building may have a great profit opportunity in the future. Furthermore, the wealthy people prefer to invest in commercial assets such as retail malls, bridges, and other such structures. This allows them to widen their financial portfolio and increase their income streams. Number 10. Cash and cash equivalents. Many or perhaps most millionaires are always saving. This doesn't mean that they do not have the cash to go around. They are simply more interested in increasing their fortune or spending it on things that are truly valuable to them. They do spend on some luxuries too, but the general rule is that they are mostly frugal or not wasteful. Many wealthy people keep a large portion of their wealth in cash or liquid financial equivalents. In this scenario, poor people don't have the luxury of carrying a large sum of money about with them. Even wealthy people have private bankers who maintain track of their asset portfolio. This means they won't have to wait in lines like other clients at checkout windows. Did you know that millionaires keep up to 25% of their money in cash on average? This is to compensate for the market downturn and make cash available as portfolio insurance. They are also interested in cash equivalents and financial items that are about as fluid as cash. Money market funds, certificates of deposit, commercial paper, and treasury securities are all examples of cash equivalents. Number 9. Luxury goods, such as rare whiskey, wine, and handbags. You'll be surprised to learn that wealthy people don't buy expensive luxuries simply because they have nothing better to do with their money. Real estate agent Knight Frank is among the people that shed a light on how profitable luxury goods, such as rare whiskey, can give you a fortune in returns. Handbags have become formally classified as an asset. According to a recent study, handbags were a lot better investment than art last year. In 2019, the total return on art was 5%, whereas the return on handbags was 13% and are the number one in the year. If you know anything about handbags, You're aware that Birkins are the holy grail of handbags, and only the rich wealthy can afford a piece of this pie. Number 8. Gold or silver. Trade was a widespread occurrence in the past, particularly the gold trade. It was a type of money used by the wealthy to display their high or royalty status. There hasn't been much change. Even the poor would never dream of owning gold. The wealthy continue to hold it as an asset, and it has become a safe haven for their money. It makes sense since gold will always be valuable when the value of paper currency is low. History has proven repeatedly how the wealthy have survived by simply purchasing huge quantities of this coveted metal. The excellent thing is that there is gold for everyone. If you only have a limited quantity of money to invest, gold coins are a good option. Those with a lot of money may choose to buy gold bars that they may keep in a real safe in a foreign country, such as Switzerland. Take note that the wealthy don't store large amounts of gold in the US. Current legislation states, in a crisis, the US government has the right to raid and seize safes containing gold, which is one of the only countries in the world that has this right. It has already happened once before under Franklin Roosevelt during a time of economic crisis. This is why the wealthy people make a concerted effort to store much of their wealth offshore. Gold is desired because it's easy to purchase and it will never go out of fashion. But more and more of the wealthy people are looking towards other precious metals. Many electronic components are made of precious metals such as titanium and platinum, which makes them valuable to corporations and governments all over the world. While not as popular as investing in gold, these precious metals are able to be used in a practical capacity. It's no surprise to see them becoming popular among wealthy investors. Number 7. Artwork or fine art. One of the reasons why the wealthy people have such a large collection of great art isn't because they adore every painting and backdrop, but it's because they understand how valuable it is. Even if you don't recognize the meaning of art, there will always be someone who wants to purchase it, and those who want to buy it appreciate its value. They're not trying to bargain for every cent, which makes this a good investment. Poor people, on the other hand, may see art as a waste of money that could have been better spent on other or more important things. But the truth is that fine art, particularly limited edition art, has a high resale value. Many wealthy people are ready to spend millions of dollars on a great art. Fine art can also be put into the asset box and create a passive income. Some wealthy people have collected enough fine art to build private galleries or license their work to well-known galleries. As a result, there will be more money. Number 6. Private credit. Private credit is an asset class of privately negotiated loans and numerous other forms of debt financing from non-bank lenders. Small business loans, venture debt, consumer loans, invoice factoring, and several other forms of private debt are few examples. The majority of people do not have this form of asset finance, since they do not qualify to get one. Wealthy people have it easier as they usually have a financial track record to present, as well as a strong credit score history to back them up, unlike poor people. And this one example shows that the luck of money makes everything harder. Number 5. Speculative or cryptocurrency. Most people have not bought into this craze, but the wealthy people love risk, especially risk that promises some high returns. It is estimated that there are around 100,000 cryptocurrency millionaires out there, with the majority holding Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin requires a lot of technology to operate, maintain, and transact, the concept alone can be difficult for a poor people, things that the majority of people do not have access to. The good part is that you do not have to stake so much in order to see some returns. Cryptocurrency is increasingly being recognized as an effective investment option worth considering when trying to build wealth. Number 4. Rare or vintage cars. Millions of Americans collect cars, but not the kind that poor people cling to, like old cars they drove in their teenage years. The old muscle car or British roadster you bought in college may still have a place of honor in your garage and see use as a weekend cruiser, but the wealthy people see vintage cars more than just collectibles. They have the possibility to be used as financial assets. What about high-end collectibles that cost 7 or 8 figures? They are not for everyone, but they can help wealthy people diversify their holdings, create revenue, and possibly even drive on occasion. Even brands not known for high-end exotics may become collectible. Toyota's TM Beautiful 2000 GT, built from 1967 to 1970, can command more than $1 million at auction. So if you have some spare cash, why not splurge on an oldie? In the future, it will make you some goldie. Number 3. Public companies or stocks. Ultra-high wealthy investors may own a majority stake in one or more large corporations. But many of them hold a portfolio of only a few equity securities, while some are all about simplicity. They invest in dividend-paying stocks and index funds. They prefer the passive income generated by equity securities to the passive rental income generated by real estate. They simply do not want to dedicate time to managing investment. Stocks also have low management fees and excellent diversification. Of course, capital appreciation is something they are interested too, but for some, it is less important than making current income. Number 2. Private equity and hedge fund. Unless you are a multimillionaire, you may not participate in a hedge fund or buy into private equity fund. Public equity is well known since its shares trade on stock exchanges. You can readily liquidate your public equity or shares of stock. Private equity funds, on the other hand, generally get their investments from large organizations like universities or pension funds. Investors in private equity funds must be accredited investors with a specific net worth, usually at least $250,000. This amount already is more than what a poor person could have lying around. If you're an accredited investor, some of the ultra-wealthy people will invest in private equity. Hedge funds are not the same as private equity. Hedge funds use pooled funds and pursue multiple strategies to generate above-average returns for investors. Hedge funds invest in everything that fund managers believe will generate the highest possible returns in the short term. Number 1. Alternative investments. Alternative investments, as said earlier, are among the most popular assets among the wealthy. Fine paintings, pricey musical instruments, and rare books are all examples of successful investments. Also, there are the ultra-wealthy that have investments in intellectual property rights, such as the rights to songs or movies. These investments can be extremely profitable. As you may have guessed, the wealthy have a variety of investment strategies, making it impossible to generalize about where they put their money. But all of the mentioned are legitimate investments for such individuals. Since they have a desire for a reduction of their risk, many prefer diversified investment portfolios. Remember, to grow your money, you can combine several of these investments. Well guys, that's all we have for you today. There are plenty more tips and tricks that we will cover in our channel, but we hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.